Hey guys, what's up? It just a few rounds in tonight. Don't have a lot of time, but I didn't want to take 2 Fridays in a row off. Just not even want to look at another Magic card last week after the pre-release or not the pre-release, the actual release of the set, and just all the madness that entailed. So, took the night off. But this week we're gonna get right back into it. Like I mentioned in my announcement, what we're streaming tonight. We're going to do one more week of this Jeskai Yorion Lukka deck. Don't want to spend too much time talking about the changes that we made since I've already gone over that in previous VODs. Find on my YouTube page, and they might still be available here on Twitch. Real briefly, we cut down one Lukka to pair with the cut on Agent of Treachery. Try not to be quite as logged on those, since it seems like a lot of the time we're just getting flooded and either don't have a token production card to go with it, or something happens and we get our Agent of Treacheries in our opening hand or in our hand at some point, whatever the case being. We're just trying to minimize that a little. Moved up to a few more removal spells in the main because we played against a lot of aggressive decks last time I streamed Arena, and to head that off a little bit. Also, there's been a little bit more of this Bolus's Citadel nonsense stuff popping up, or at least I've been hearing about it, and I want to have some main deck answers to kill things like Mayhem Devil and things of that nature at instant speed, rather than having to rely on Shatter, which again, we're back up to 4 copies. Remember, we cut one and then basically played against 2 or 3 decks where we like to have had the 4th copy. So that's basically the main change here. Enough blabbering, let's get right into it. Historic, some standard. See if we can't make some progress here in the platinum weirdness that I've been grinding through lately. Haven't really played any since last time I streamed. We shall see what's going on. Let's get some tuning. This is Paul Wardingham, basically an instrumental metal kind of, got a lot of like technological elements in his music as well. Pretty cool. This album is called Electromancer. Anyone that might be interested. Alright, so what do we have in the opening grip here? We've got plenty of lands, Omen of the Sea, Fires of Invention. On the draw in the Yorion Mirror, my opponent mulligan. Yeah, we're gonna keep this. Also have the Glass Casket, just on the off chance he's some sort of beatdown deck. Okay, might be the mirror match. This being the case, I think what I want to do is lead. God, that's tough. I need the white for it to vary. I think I'm just going to do this. I don't necessarily know what he's on right now. There's a couple things it could be, so I'll save the temple and maybe we'll get better information. Okay, so yeah, this is the mirror. So now we need to set up for it to vary. Next turn to be able to bounce the token, keep him off of any nonsense. I think what I'm going to do this turn, as much as it pains me to have to pass on Omen, is play Temple here. I'm actually going to shove that. I don't really need that card in this matchup to get tokens. We'll find some other way. So, more color here, or maybe this is just an extra cycling land that he wants to play. Either way, he tapped out for another Birth of Elitis. So we're just going to go ahead and take the opportunity here to bounce the token and get our Teferi into play. And of course, you know, we drew the Lukka for the turn right after we pushed Birth of Meletus, but you know, what are you going to do? I don't think we're going to have issues getting to that point. It's just going to be a matter of keeping him contained. So next turn, what I think I'm going to do, provided nothing drastic changes, is get a Fires down. Great. Get a Fires down. Play another Teferi, bounce this token. Let's go ahead and do the Sacred Foundry here. I could also just use Glass Casket instead. That way I can pick it back up with Teferi at some other point, and now if he has Elspeth Conquers Death, I don't just get like absolutely destroyed. And this card isn't going to do anything else in the matchup, so I might as well burn it on something. So now we can do the thing where we play Yorion and Lukka next turn to get an Agent of Treachery if we really want to go down that route. I think what I'd rather do is Omen of the Sea, Yorion, bring Omen of the Sea. Then go from there. I'm actually, like, amazed that we are in as good a shape as we are at this very moment, considering we're on the draw and all this sort of stuff. Alright, so, opponent does nothing. I don't think there's any reason to cut Ketria Triumph off here. I also don't think there's a reason to get, like, all wild by Yorion Lukka just to take a land at this point. I'd like to be able to bounce Teferi and all that stuff as well. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to lead here. We find some sort of token production. That's pretty good, actually. I might just hang on to that just in case. Let's do that. I'm actually going to cycle this Triome. Not going to need the mana. And I don't really want to cast any of the other cards that I have access to. Okay, so that's that. Control up here. We'll do Steam Vents. And I'm just going to play a tap. There's no reason to, like, bluff Dovin's Veto. I have Fires of Invention, Mystical Dispute, things of that nature. Those are not cards that are going to be a factor right now. My opponent's given me a decent amount of information by not playing the planes that he's been grabbing off of Birth of Meletus. So I'm wondering if he's just on, like, the super land draw and doesn't want to draw anymore, and that's why he keeps, like, playing these Fabled Passages and stuff. Okay, so he's got his own Fires now to bury. That's alright. We are... let's see. I think we're just going to Fires, eat his Fires. 2, 3, 4, 6. So we could have Agent next turn. But without Fires in place starting this turn, I don't have a way to disrupt that. So I think... and if the Fairy was on 4, this would be a lot easier because I could fires, Elspeth Conquers Depth, Blink, Elspeth, or Flicker, Bounce rather. I can't talk today. Bounce Elspeth back to my hand. But because that isn't the case, how do we want to do this? I think we're just gonna fires, and then Elspeth Conquers Depth is fires of Invention. Not the most exciting turn, but you know, what are you gonna do? They can't always be heaters. Okay, so no Agent Treachery is good. First, that's fine. So I think this turn what we're gonna do is I want to I do want a Yorion and get back and turn that into a Lukka. Or a Lukka into an Agent of Treachery. I want to steal the Narset. Or no, I want to steal the Castle Vantress, and then when the Elspeth comes back down, take out the Narset. And then I'm gonna bounce the Agent of Treachery back to my hand. I'm not going to get to draw a card, but that's okay. So, how do we gonna do this? I think we just want to sequence it this way. Lukka. Yorion. Okay. Apparently Lukka was good enough. So what do we do here? Cut these crappy cards. Mysticals, the Dobins, and gotta keep one card in. I don't even know. I didn't realize I was gonna come up a card short here. I guess maybe we just keep the Omen because it can tag like a Narset or something. In a pinch. Take out like a token as well. Doesn't seem like the greatest card, but I don't think we have anything else better. Like, this card would be okay, but I would rather just reliably be able to hit Agent of Treachery every time we activate Lukka. Yeah, alright. I don't see anything else better. The Bolus Mirror, at least in Avatar. Oh, I suppose I should probably change over like all my the game that we're playing and all that sort of stuff. How about that? That might work a little bit better. Okay, there we go. Let's see, so we got Omen, Temple. This isn't a great hand, but it's fine. I think we'll have enough time to dig to white mana and get our game going. We won the hard one, the on the draw with no counterspells. Yeah, see, there we go. Perfect. This game's so easy. I'm gonna keep that. Okay. Couldn't care less about that card right now. Keep Veto up, and we'll also have Omen of the Sea access. Narset. Do I care about Narset? I think at this very moment, I do not care. I would rather Omen and get our own game plan going, I think. Okay, got a Lukka. Now the question is, do we just slam the Fairy? What's he gonna do next turn? On 4 mana? I don't think he really has anything, like, too damaging. We're gonna go ahead and take the Teferi. But we're going to preemptively... we don't get to draw a card, but that's fine. Just preemptively get this 0-4 off the table so that he can't Lukka us on turn 5 if for some reason we're tapped out. Like, if he doesn't play anything here, I go for Birth of Meletus, and then he counters it or something like that. Okay, so he's got his own Elspeth conquers that. That's alright. Worst thing he could play here would be a Teferi, but that's not the end of the world. So he doesn't have a creature to get the Lukka party going with, and we're going to be able to hit our land drops. So if we just make it out of this turn without him doing something like that, then we'll be able to Birth plus Veto over the next couple of turns. Okay, Omen of the Sun is acceptable. We are going to lose our Teferi at some point, but it's not the end of the world. I guess if we don't believe that he has a 5th land, seems pretty unlikely, then we could like Birth and Glasscast at a token, pick up Teferi and keep Teferi around. That just seems so unlikely. And then we'd get the wall from Birth of Meletus to block. No, because if we do that and he has a 5th land, then we just get absolutely destroyed by Lukka, so we're gonna have to just lose our Teferi here. That's alright. Only thing that matters right now is keeping Lukka off the table. He has a Birth in the bin, so I think I even just let Elspeth Conquers Death resolve if that's what he ended up going for, but he's not going to cast that card. Roll Reversal. Wants to switch Birth with Omen of the Sun. I don't really care about that, I guess. This give him an 0-4. It's just more like Lukka fuel. This is a really weird call on his part. I'm just gonna let that go. I don't care. I've already got another Birth of Meletus rolled up, so. And now we can Birth plus Ralgren Triome and leave Dovin's Veto up for now. Or we could play the Plains and then cash in this Omen of the Sun, I guess. That might even be better. I don't think we're going to need 6 mana. We can, like, the following turn we get Narset into Dovin's Veto or something like that. So let's just... yeah, let's just get a Plains here. And I'm gonna cash in this Omen of the Sun. Zen step, I think. You have an 04. Like, this is gonna be where he decides whether or not he's going to go for a 5-drop. And the only 5-drop that he can, like, reasonably justify playing right now is Lukka. Six mana. Shock. What is he doing? Whatever, man. That's interesting. I guess we can use the Omen of the Sun to basically check his tokens, and then on the following turn, like, we'll still leave Dovin's Veto up, and then on the following turn we can Glass Casket to get the 04 out of there. I don't mind that. Oh, what the hell? Whoops. That was a misclick. Great. Yeah, let's just toss the game. Hey, Freeman, what's going on, man? Did you catch me just in time to see that stupid misclick? No, he wants to make the Sharkarino. Okay. Yeah. Digital Magic, man. This is never going to replace paper Magic entirely because of crap like that. Like, now my opponent knows I don't have any land, right? And land in the control mirror is, like, paramount. Like, now we're priced into having to Glass Casket this stupid shark token. Man, what a frickin' wreck. Yeah, I saw that. I actually have it, like, pulled up on my browser on a tab. I just haven't gotten around to watching it yet. It's funny, so I made the suggestion to them when they were kind of announcing, you know, hey, we're going to be minimizing the amount of stuff we're recording because of COVID and all that. You know, is there, like, you guys have ideas? I mean, we've got a ton of backlog footage we can cut from. And I was like, yeah, let's do, like, best of Kira, like, drinking people under the table, and, you know, best of Dermot hating to eat peanut butter all the time, and, you know, crap like that. So they've actually followed through on... and the leather jacket guy, the first one they did was also one that I suggested. So they've kind of used two of my suggestions so far. So I thought that was pretty funny. I don't know if it was my suggestion necessarily that caused them to do that, but in some capacity perhaps. Alright, so just trading off tokens here, just try and get back on track. This is going to be Lukka, this is going to be a Dovin's Veto. I'm assuming he's probably sitting on, like, Mystical Dispute or something like that. Because he hasn't been playing cards until he has open mana. So I am going to... I'm going to Narset here. We really don't have anything else going on. If he has another Lukka or something, then he has another Lukka. I can't really stop that. You can find a Veto. Alright, well, how about the 4th copy of Elspeth Conquers Death? Yeah, this is definitely the mirror match. We're up game 1. That I'm okay with, actually. I can fight this fight for a while. We've got bad news for you, opponent. We're on quads this game. Thank God. Alright, him electing to go for ECD that turn rather than Lukka is good news for me. That means he doesn't have Lukka. Yeah, this is Paul Wardingham. The album is Electromancer. I can do this all day. He's actually got, I think he's got a new album that's going to be coming out here pretty quick. By pretty quick, I mean within the next month or two. Alright, so opponent has something in hand that they can cast. Are we really just going to be on the full 4v4 on Elspeth Conquers Death? What is this match right now? Are you kidding me? Play the Omen now, so we can actually get the card off Narset, or off of that card without losing it to Narset. That's actually not a bad draw. Because now, if he's got a counterspell, then he can counter that, and then we can pick it back up with Elspeth Conquers Death. And if he doesn't have a counterspell, then we just get to steal his Elspeth Conquers Death. And what do we have in the bin? Do we have anything juicy? Berry? Yeah, fuck it. If he, hopefully he goes for Omen here or something. Oh, man. Okay, so if we play Lukka here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'll have 3 mana up. I wonder if he's like waiting to try and Tails End us or something. Alright, let's just go for the big boss play. We're gonna make him have it. Okay, and he had it. That is fine. Okay. Okay. Hope he goes for like a fires here or something. No, he's not gonna do anything. Let's just see if we can 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can't do 2 5-drops this turn, which kind of sucks. Let's see if we can manage to get this into play. How do I want to go about doing this? Wait. Seems like a pretty questionable card to include. I guess it just acts as like extra copies of Omen, Elspeth, Conqueror's Death, and things of that nature, but that doesn't seem great to me. I mean, I guess he just did get us with it, but yeah. This card I've never seen in the mirror match. This guy is like, I mean, I guess I wouldn't mind having access to that card right now, but it seems like super narrow. That's great. Alright, so do we bait with fires here? Sure. I guess it's not really bait because that cost me 6 mana, not 4. But he's got 4 cards in hand. What could those possibly be? More copies of River of Fate? Alright, I'm ready to move on to the next game. Alright, so let's just hope we draw like Mystical Disputes and crap like that a little earlier, because we had to burn Dovin's Vetoes on some kind of questionable nonsense. My username on Arena, you can see it right there, Canman87. Yeah, don't like having multiple agents in the opening hand. This hand, I'm going to keep this hand. We can always, like, we're going to put this back and then just grab it right back with Birth of Meletus. Glass Casket, I kind of don't know if I should be keeping this in this matchup or not, but it seems like a good, cheap way to get, like, the O4 off the table. But it might be a little too narrow. I'm not under any impression that it's, like, a great card in the matchup. I mean, I doubt it. There's 3 people watching the stream right now. I would be highly surprised if he happened to be one of them. I don't think I'm anywhere near large enough to be getting ghosted. Alright, so he's holding up Dovin's Veto. I'm going to do the same. There's no reason to run Teferi into it. Okay, that's good for me. Means he's probably on the hunt for land. He is definitely on the hunt for land. You might say if he's on the hunt for land, why don't you counter Omen there? But I think it's because land is good, but Dovin's Veto is just so valuable in this matchup that I don't think I can like get off of it for a card like that. And he could have been sandbagging the Castle Banters as well. So no reason to like just open myself up to getting destroyed. Like throw away my Veto and my Teferi if he has like the exact sequence of cards, like Vantress into Mystical Dispute. Alright, so did not play a land that turn. So what we can do here, I'm really smelling a Dovin's Veto. And this Castle Ardenvale is actually a pretty good draw because now we don't have to shock and like immediately give away our Dovin's Veto. We could also just sit there and make a token. I kind of like that, actually. Especially because he's stumbling. Yeah, that's fine. Getting on the board and getting some pressure going. So that we can like pressure Teferi or a Narset or something like that. And also, you know, be double set up for a Lukka, like if you play Teferi and bounces this 0-4. Something like that. Alright, so now token time. We just play it straight up like old blue-white control style, where we just sit back on Castle Ardenvale and blink them with tokens to death. This is why I like this castle quite a bit more than Castle Vantris. Because it lets you like actually sit back and do something. Like this just improves your draw, and you've got plenty of cards in your deck that already do that. So having a thing that can give you a proactive play like Castle Ardenvale is a lot more valuable in my opinion, because it gives the deck a different angle of attack. So you can sit there and craft your hand all day and play card drawing spells and just say, oh, you know, look, I got the 7 best cards in my hand. But if you can't ever find a window to get those cards into play, it doesn't matter. And this lets you maximize things like Dovin's Veto and Mystical Dispute, your, you know, omens and things of that nature. Right now, he doesn't have double white, so he can't use his own Castle Ardenvale, but if he ever finds a white source, we're at least going to be up a token on him. So he's not going to be able to sit there and just do that all the time. He's going to have to make some other sort of play. Not sure what he's tanking over. I wonder if he's wondering about just throwing out this Yorion. Or if he just like disconnected or something, I don't know. Anyway, to kind of finish up on that train of thought, I do have Castle Vantris in this deck as well, but there are more Castle Ardenvales if that shows you, you know, anything. A little bit more important to have this card also because you have Lukka in the deck, you need to be able to generate tokens. That should be fairly obvious if you've watched any of this deck play. Alright, so I have a feeling he probably disconnected, which is unfortunate, but, you know. A win's a win, I guess. Pretty sure that's what happened. So, alternatively, if this game continues to go on, I'm not going to play Teferi on this turn, even though I can back it up with Dovin's Veto. Again, because I want to just sit here and do this. Okay, so he is not disconnected entirely. But also because I want to play it on a turn where like he starts representing that he's going to sit back for Castle Ardenvale. And that way if he wants to counter it, he won't also be able to make a token that turn. So here, I'm going to play the Plains, I think, because this will allow me to Ardenvale and leave Dovin's Veto up. He's probably going to activate Castle Vantris now, which is fine. That doesn't advance his board at all. Takes his entire turn's worth of mana, doesn't draw him a card, and he just decides to do nothing. Okay. We can also cycle this Triome if we absolutely need to. I kind of don't want to counter this because I have the ability to make tokens. We can just attack this Teferi down. So we're going to have one turn. If we do that, we're going to have one turn where we can't counter something. But he can't do, like, tokens plus Lukka in the same turn, at least not with the mana that he's got access to. I think I'm actually going to let this resolve. And of course, if he just bounces a 1-1, then cool, we just get to pick off the Teferi for free, basically. Okay. So this, to me, smells like potentially Omen of the Sun. But he did not play a land, so he doesn't have that play open to him. And I'm not going to risk like something dumb happening this turn, I'm just gonna send both at Teferi. If he has like his own red omen or something like that, I don't want to open that up as a possibility. So no reason to deviate from plan here. I think I was planning on holding this to cycle potentially, which I'd be able to do next turn. We're already up on mana to him, so this will allow us to castle and or omen, like some combination of all of those cards. So we'll just play that past turn. I don't care about that. One thing is that it does now allow him to start making Castle Ardenvale tokens, but we've already kind of talked about some ways to mitigate his ability to make those kinds of plays. So we are going to play Omen first, since that'll give us plenty of open mana if he wants to like Mystical Dispute it for some stupid reason. But because he doesn't, how do I feel about these cards? I kinda like the Narset. I'm not sure about the Elspeth Conqueror's Death. Feels like he might be sitting on cards like Elspeth Conqueror's Death, and that's not really going to get us anywhere, so I think I'm just going to shove that. I do want the Narset, because at some point we're going to need to probably find another counterspell. So now I might want to play a Planeswalker this turn. Dovin's Veto is awesome. That makes me not want to play Narset because I don't want to show him that card. But I could try and like bait out a counterspell with Teferi. But I don't really see a reason to do that. I think what I'm going to do is cycle Triome and have double Veto up if I need to make that play. Or I'll leave the option to cycle Triome in play. If it really comes down to, like, if he goes to Fairy into Lukka. Okay, so there's one Lukka. We have to be a little bit careful with our mana here. I'm just going to stick on the token train. Okay, so we've got him on a, I think it's going to end up still being a 4-turn clock regardless of how many creatures we make. Next turn he's going to take 4 and then 5. Okay, so we've got him on a 2-turn clock. Do I go for Teferi now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could go for Glass Casket and have Veto and Triome up. And he's less likely to counter Glass Casket, so let's just do that. This also gives him, like, a worse board to play an Agent of Treachery into. I don't care about that. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I might actually want to cast this card. My mana's, or rather, get it into play. Because I think my mana is going to be tied up over the next few turns. and I'm not gonna have time to like sit there and cycle Triumph. I would like to not have a Lukka. Alright, so here, I want to Omen in my upkeep. I really think he has counterspells, and I don't particularly want to cast these cards into counterspells. And I need to set the stop now. Let's just go ahead and set the stop, and we can make the decision if he like makes a play or something. So that costs 3 mana. We can still have Castle plus like counterspell up if we find one. We only have the 2 vetoes, so we're not going to be able to draw any counterspell that matters, I don't think. I think I might want to keep that around for the purpose of Yorion. So let's just go to the draw step. He cannot make a token right now. I think what I want to try doing is leading with Narset. If he doesn't counter the Narset, then I can... Well, let's just cast Narset. Let's see what happens here. I have a feeling he's probably not going to want this in play. Okay, so he just lets it go. Omen is alright. So now we could do a setup where we play Omen into Yorion. And then just like, you know, clear the way for these tokens to get in. I wonder if that's any good. I think I'm gonna see what happens with that play. Maybe not. I might just sit back because I think we might just want to keep the pressure up with these tokens, and then we can like. So next turn we'll get him for 5 damage, and then we can play Yorion to threaten like a kill, unless he has Omen of the Sun or something like that. Let's just sit back here. Okay, Agent is alright, I think. Is he just gonna steal Narset? Yeah, it's alright. Okay. So I think what I want to do here is play Teferi and see what happens. If he counters it, I think we just win regardless of what happens. If he counters it, then he can't counter Yorion, most likely, and he also can't Ether Gust to flicker the Omen of the Forge that we're gonna get Yorion. So let's just start there, see what happens. I suppose you could have like Mystical and Dovin's Veto here. We've got Tails End, okay. Resolves. So now I want to play this Temple. I don't think I want that because the Narset, and I'm not planning on getting the Narset off the table this turn. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I shouldn't have done that because now Mystical Dispute can actually get us. think I just make a token here. I don't think I need to do anything. Yeah. I guess I miscounted anyway, and the omen was 1 point short. Can't flicker the Narset because he doesn't own it. So all he gets to do is flicker the Agent of Treachery. So we're gonna let this resolve. He's probably taking the wall, would be my guess. Oh, he's gonna take that. Okay. So he can make 3 blockers. And then he's gonna die to the Omen. He actually is going to die to it now. Or he'll have 4 blockers, I should say. Sure. Yeah, this has been pretty back and forth, but goddamn, the power of the Castle Ardenvale here, man. It's pretty crazy. Like, this whole game was on the back of Castle Ardenvale. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so he can't Mystical Dispute me. He doesn't have Tails End up. So, the games. Might as well just flicker all 3, why not? Omen of the Forge. Good thing we kept that in. Alright. What a weird game. That was a very strange set of games. I haven't had to do the Castle Ardenvale grind since I've been playing this deck. That hasn't come up since... that hasn't come up since I was playing just straight blue-white. Yeah, got him, Freeman. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this switch. 1 more veto over the third Wanderer. Third Wanderer always felt a little like cheesy or whatever, and I think it's cool, man. I appreciate you hanging out then. Third Wanderer seems like a little bit of a, you know, cheesy call. So having the third veto for matchups like this, I think is just probably better overall. All right, man. Sounds good. I'm actually going to be hanging out with a friend of mine here shortly. Which is kind of why I can't have a super long stream tonight. All right, real quick, just finding something else to put on. Thanks, Freeman. I'll do my best. Alright, I'll figure that out here in a second. Let's figure out what we're playing. Couple removal spells and some card advantage. I'll take it. Definitely want to get this Birth of Meletus into play ASAP. We don't mistakenly draw the last. So we don't draw the last planes. Alright, get some Breeding Pool deck. Okay, Birth online. Alright, so what is this, like Reclamation? They don't have a companion, that's pretty indicative of that. And then them having Opt as well. This is probably going to be a growth spiral on my end step. I have a feeling I'm probably going to want cycle this Triome this turn. Is that right? I guess if I draw Lukka, I'm going to be pretty... Pro tip, if you're playing the land, click on the left. If I draw Lukka, I'm going to be pretty mad if I cycle that, so... We'll play the first one, any subsequent ones are getting cycled. Okay, there's that, as I imagined. Yeah, this is definitely Reclamation. Alright, so the Shatter's probably not going to do a whole lot, as is the Omen of the Forge, but that's alright. Really glad we put that third Dovin's Veto in, even though Wanderer is pretty good for this matchup as well. They basically have to, like, end step a Shark token to get it off the table, and then they can try and kill us from there. But having access to both Wanderer and Dovin's Veto seems pretty good to me. Not sure what my opponent's thinking about here. Shocking breeding pool, huh? You can make a 4/4 Shark, I can only make a 2/2. But I'm not gonna have a mana advantage on him at any point, so just get this out of here. I'd rather find, like, something to actually... Like, that's even a better card than having that Shark Typhoon in my hand. So here, we're gonna get in for 2. If he, like, flashes in a Shark, then I'm actually just gonna convert this Omen of the Forge on it. Doesn't look like that's what he wants to do, so let's just do this and rinse and repeat from last game. Brazen Borrower, okay. Let's see, so I think I actually want to Fire Prophecy this Plains back into my deck. And Fire Prophecy isn't killing anything else, so... That out of here. Much better. Yeah, second Uro's fine. So yeah, he's gonna have potential to get Uro into play this turn. It's not, though. I do want a 7th land because I have a feeling I'm going to have to slam this Agent of Treachery. And actually just drawing both of these agents is fine because I don't have any way to make tokens, so I have to draw Token Producer and Lukka if I want to end up going down that path. So let's just stay on target. Make a token with Castle Ardenvale if they don't do anything this turn. And over the next few turns, we're going to try to Agent Yorion and, like, blow him all the way out. I'm going to be targeting any red mana sources that he has so that he cannot Explosion me at some point. Okay. And I think I might wait for him to make the first move, because I want... No, I don't know. You could have a big old shark here, I suppose. But I have Glass Casket, which is pretty decent for putting a stop to that nonsense. So the question is, how many like Mystical Dispute type effects does he have in the main? been pretty aggressive at shocking. He might want to just like EOT explosion me for like 3. I wouldn't blame him for doing that. And then he like next turn will be able to get an burrow back if he wants to. Let's just see what happens. If he has a counterspell, he has a counterspell. I can't play around it all day. Yeah, okay. This also gives us something to get back with our Elspeth Conquers Death if we end up drawing any of those at some point. And now he's incentivized to try and probably make a play. Would be my assumption. A play on his turn, that is. I have a feeling he's just got a lot of gas in his hand and might be looking for lands. Because he's played a growth spiral and we caught up to him, so we've kind of negated the effect that that card had. He didn't really take advantage of the mana advantage that he had. So this feels to me like it's going to be an Uro turn. I guess we could try to Agent of Treachery that card. Yeah, whatever. How many mystical disputes you got in your hand, buddy? Let's go with not enough. Is he gonna like Brazen Borrower? Is that the deal? I wonder if I'm just supposed to steal a land here. If he Brazen Borrowers back this Wilderness Reclamation, I'm gonna look like a freaking idiot. So I think I do just want to steal a land here. Big shark. We have the glass casket for that guy, and then if he like plays an Uro, at some point we can Yorion to flicker the glass casket as well. Yeah, see, good thing I didn't take Wilderness Reclamation. Alright, so we're probably getting Explosion here. 6, before 10. Or he can do it for less and leave himself some mana open. Really know what his goal is. Whatever it is, he's doing a lot of math. He could just be killing Treachery, Agent of Treachery to keep, like, Yorion flicker off the table. Okay. He just decides to make the big haymaker move. I guess that makes sense. I wonder if I'm even supposed to Yorion this turn. Alright, so what did he bin here? Some land, Storm's Wrath, Opt. Okay. He's probably going to have a red source, would be my guess. I think it's going to be hard to keep him off of being able to cast Explosion for the rest of this game. But I don't know, he just dumped 2 of them. I think if he's smart, or, you know, has a functioning brain, he's going to notice that we have Agent of Treachery Dorian going. So maybe I can't sit back on the take row plan. I just have to try and get them all getting good. I guess we could take one of the Wilderness Reclamations now, instead of the red. So let's see, if we take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so he has 12 mana with Wilderness Reclamation, so he can Explosion us for 8, so he can actually kill us, it doesn't really matter. But I have to believe he kept a red source in his hand, so... Just keep another Agent of Treachery, I guess. On the very small chance that we don't die this turn. Yeah, see, there you go. Fairy would also have been a pretty good draw at any point in this game, because it really just negates the effect of Wilderness Reclamation. Yeah, alright. Wait, how much is he explosioning for? Okay, he is doing it for 7. Okay. Alright, just move on. Problem. I do not want this view. Alright, so off with those cards. Don't really want this. Just want all the counterspells. And I think what we're going to do is get rid of Casket and maybe a Birth. I don't want to be stuck on like too many air cards. I want to keep Elspeth Conquers Death because it kills every permanent in his deck permanently. This is really good if we ever get it down. And his only outs are to make a Shark token or bounce it with Brazen Borrower, and that includes the fact that we can interact with that card. Otherwise, I think this is fine. We just kind of it draws super hot in that particular match, or game, I guess. Okay. Let's see if we can bounce back here. His hand is pretty awkward. We can slow him down quite a bit. We've got Moment of the Sun and Narset as cards we can actually like play if we draw any land in the deck. I'm gonna risk it. This is not a great hand, but him being on the draw gives us a tad bit more time to make something work too. I think I just want to try and maximize hitting an untapped land, although that's a good draw too. Alright. We're going to Mystical Dispute Aggro Spiral if he goes for it on his main phase. He's not. Wow, doesn't even have one. Okay. Somehow he didn't have a growth spiral. It's a miracle. So here, I think I'm actually going to grab lanes. That way we have both. Good call. I was going to say that way we have double white locked up for Elspeth Conqueror's Death, as well as Omen of the Sun and like Dovin's Veto plus Mystical Dispute. So here I can attempt to Narset, but I can't back it up. So I think I'm just going to play an Omen of the Sun on his end step. Mono Fabled Passage, huh? Would you care to Mystical Dispute that? No. That was probably the worst draw on the deck. At least here we can crack Omen and still have Mystical Dispute up, so it should only be one turn that we're missing land drops on. I'd like to draw Island next turn. That would be the draw. I will settle for a Sacred Foundry. I wonder if this guy brought in like Flame Sweep or anything like that. I'm not sure what else he has to bring into the matchup outside of perhaps like more Mystical Disputes if he doesn't have the full set in the main. You could have Tails End, Gate. I'm trying to think of what else he might have. Not really sure. I probably should have shocked that in now, actually, now that I think about it. That way I can continue cranking tokens with Castle Ardenvale. Yeah, it's fine. Reclamation. I think I am going to dispute that. I was going to say white source off, or blue source off the top one time, but never that lucky. Do I even want to play Birth here? I guess it's okay. We just want to hit land drops. so if he goes for Uro this turn, which kind of looks like might be what he's trying to do, we can Elspeth with Mystical Dispute back up, and he's going to have to tap all the way out for his Mystical Dispute if he wants to counter it. That's fine. Uro is still on the table as a play. Unfortunately, we don't really have anything we can get back with Elspeth, but it is what it is. Okay, so what does that even mean? I don't know that I want to play Teferi here. Does he have like Brazen Borrower? Let's see if he has Brazen Borrower plus Dispute backup. Could be what it is. Yeah. We'll just sit on Make Token with Dispute backup or something like that. Fabled Passages. Wait, did he just brick? I have to go back and watch that again. Alright, so now he's got Dispute backup plus Dispute for our Dispute, if that's like a thing that he's going to be doing. But I think I still want to make the same play. Man, this lack of blue mana is killing me. I really feel like he's probably not double Dispute, but I don't think our hand really affords us any other line of play. So while we're waiting for our opponent to figure out what they want to do here, I hope everyone's Friday has been a good one. Oh, he has Negate. Alright, well. How's everyone's week? Excited for the weekend? Expand, negate on Mystical Dispute, okay. Alright, so that's at least one expansion down. I don't mind that so much. I'm gonna attack. So, we do have the other Elspeth Conquers Death, so we can go for that again next turn if we really want to. I might even just be more inclined to play Teferi, so that we can Teferi with Dovin's Veto back up. I'm not going to need this, I don't think, so we'll just block it. Alright, well, let's see what happens. So if this resolves, then we'll just bounce Uro. We'll still have Dovin's Veto or Omen of the Sea up. Probably not going to tap out for Omen with the threat of, you know, him exploding me, laying in the wings. I guess if I have Teferi, he can't really explode me at that point, but if this doesn't resolve, then we'll just take another smack from Uro. X equals 2. So he wants me to pay 4. His 2 other cards. He can lasso me again. Yeah, I don't care. We gotta get something going here, or this Uro's gonna eat us alive. Okay, so expansion is off the table. Good. Get out of here, Uro. Okay. Got Lukka rolled up for next turn if you can't get this Teferi off the table. Or these tokens. See what happens. He also has 6 mana that he didn't get to use. Okay, he's gonna make a shark token. Alright, that's fair. Okay. So he's not gonna be able to Uro to stay in play, rather. Unless he gets some other card into his bin. Other cards, rather. Saw that coming. Spiral, okay. So this could be Uro. Looks like it. He's got 2 up. Fires. So seen a lot of cards. He's gone through 2 counterspells. I kind of want to just take the Uro with an Agent of Treachery off of Lukka if we can get there. Question is, do I want to risk playing Fires of Invention first? So he's got 4 cards, but he only has 2 mana. So this is like the turn where I have to make the call. If Lukka's gonna get countered anyway, like if either of these cards get countered either way, then I want to figure out which one I want overall more. Alright, I think the upside of Lukka is good enough that I'd rather like take my lumps for 1 more turn. I'm just gonna say go. Jump it here. It's pretty inconsequential which token I block with there, but I want to mix it up and not block, leaving me with the same token type, just because I don't know what card it could possibly be that would make that matter, but it's possible it might matter, I guess. So we can make a 4/4 with Shark Typhoon to trade, but I don't think that's good enough. Yeah, nice to see you, additional blue source. like hold steam vents, plate to ferry. If we can get that to resolve, and if it resolves, steam vents to our set, and we can bounce the shark. Let's try it. Okay. That's good for me. One on top is not good for me. Let's see, if he plays Wilderness Reclamation next turn, what happens? He has 6, 9. He's got 22 mana next turn. Gonna basically just kill me. Might as well attack here. Our plan is just to omen and cross our fingers, basically. Just that mana base coming back to bite us in the ass this particular game. If he counters this, I'll laugh, but I wouldn't even blame him, honestly. Yeah. Because now if he has expansion, he can just literally kill us. I guess we need Wilderness Reclamation, but... Alright, well, it's do or die now. Alright. I've seen enough. Alright, well, drew like pretty god-awful that game. Even with as many blue sources as that deck has, occasionally you are not going to draw enough of them. Winota, great. Let's see. How many blue sources does the deck actually have? Let's see, so I've got 1 castle, Vantress, 2 islands, 3, 7, 8, 12, 18, 19, I have 23. 23 blue sources. Yeah, I just think we happened to draw pretty poorly that entire match. Like game 1, like just all the clunky crap, and then game 2, never on more than 2 blue. Had that Narset rot in our hand the entire game. Couldn't ever find a window to get that into play. Maybe I was supposed to just jam it quicker and let it get pegged by a mystical dispute or something, and try to free me up for something a little further down the road, but whatever. Let's get ourselves a nice Genesis Ultimatum card style that we'll probably never even use. Alright, well, I think I'm just going to call it there for tonight. Like I said on the outset, I'm not planning on doing a long stream. I've only got about a half hour before I've got other plans kicking in for the night, but didn't want to leave everybody hanging 2 weeks in a row on a Friday night with no stream. So, thanks for joining me. Sorry this is, getting cut off a little early, and sorry for the fact we only got 2 matches in. Those were both super long, grindy ones. At least we won one, broke even today, but we're still right where we started and ended on the previous stream. So, Platinum is proving to be a hard nut to crack for me. Maybe we'll play something more beatdown next week or later this weekend or something. I've got two options on the table here. We've got PV's Bant control list, which maybe that's what I'm supposed to be doing now, because we can just basically be on, you know, mono draw go control. In a matchup like that, we would be able to side in, you know, an extra Dovin's Veto, some Knights of Autumn, Nightpack Ambusher, and take out crap like Shatter the Sky. And probably Tamio would be what I would cut there. We'd make a couple other cuts, maybe like... I don't even know. We'd figure something else out, but we could turn into basically tap out control, or draw go control deck that has a flash element with Brazen Borrower, Nightpack Ambusher, and Shark Typhoon to make some beatdowns happen. The other option is we could play this Rakdos Sacrifice deck. This is a little bit outdated, so I'd need to go back and do a revision on it. Doing Luris over Obosh, but that might be incorrect at this point. It might just have to be Obosh. You just get outclassed too quickly against a lot of the format at this point. But we could toy around with something else here. I think in part people are starting to really target this particular deck, and it's just becoming difficult to just muscle people with the Agent Lukka engine. Like you saw that game, you got tails ended, or in that match at some point, or was that the previous one? Whatever, we got tails ended at some point tonight, so that shows you that people are really gunning for this card, and that makes sense because it's more or less the best companion in Standard and constitutes the majority of the best decks in the format. So, and you can really just get people with Tails End. If they get super greedy and bounce all their crap, you can just deal with a 4/5 and Tails End the trigger that returns everything back. Just one-side planar outburst, essentially. Anyway, so enough rambling here. Thanks again for joining me. I will be posting something tomorrow when I plan to go live, so keep your eyes open for that. It's probably not going to be Arena tomorrow. I might just do like some retro stuff and then come back to do some Arena on Sunday. A little bit more of a mellow stream. So anyway, thanks again. I will see you all later.